Globalization is a word you may have heard before. Let's talk a little bit about how it relates to engineering. First, let's define it. Let's look at how we might describe globalization. And we're usually looking at trade that is going on or commerce that is going on between countries around the world. There's different things you could be trading in raw materials such as oil, or manufactured goods such as cars, or services such as banking. Those are pretty common ways of globalization currently. So some of the concepts behind globalization is that there's trade that's going on. This trade has been going on globally for a long time, many centuries, way back to Marco Polo's days and things like that. So there's always been this trade, but now it's very integrated into our global economy, and there's a lot of technology that goes into globalization and how we can move things around, move money around, move people around, communicate. There's people traveling around for education. There's people that are moving due to natural disasters or other reasons why people might be refugees. And so there's all this money and people and resources that are moving around much faster than maybe we've seen before. And also there's a lot of communication that happens with TVs, the internet, cell phones. All this communication is going on globally too, where you can talk to people and share information with them, maybe information that they've never had access to before. So there are a lot of consequences that go along with this, such as with the economy, that if there's a location where there's a lot of products being supplied and maybe their economy goes bad, it has a global effect that it'll ripple throughout the entire world. There could also be many religious and social and cultural issues that can occur as people are traveling and moving from parts of the world to other parts of the world, that there are some of their customs need to change, and as information comes, maybe a lot of cultures may change because of the new information they have access to. Diseases can transfer quickly too, as people can travel quickly, as we've seen. And so there's lots of issues that can go along with this, and a lot of times it's unknown exactly and a little unpredictable on what might happen, but we know that the global economy and the global marketplace is always changing. So some things that we can maybe just think about in terms of engineering as we look at companies and things like that what is a multinational company? Is Chrysler an American company? We always consider that to be an American car company. It's owned by outside companies now that are not American. So, and then like something like Honda, which was always a Japanese company, they make a lot of their cars in the United States. So does it matter what country the company is from? Or are we looking at how it affects the global economy? Banks also go across national boundaries, and there's different rules that apply in different countries, so they have to keep track of how they're doing their banking and the global rules too. So that can be an issue for some people. And patents are issued nationally by countries, such as the United States has a patent office, but your patent in the United States is not necessarily protected in other countries. So there are international patent laws also, but they're maybe not the exact same as the patent laws that occur in the United States. And some countries view patents in different ways and are a little more relaxed on how you share and copy information. So there's lots of other things that are happening globally with trade and with communication. The internet is something that the United States has always kind of controlled because it was developed here, but as it's a global interface now across the whole world, so there's other countries that are wanting to get involved in saying what happens and when you should be blocking information and all that kind of stuff that happens. So that will be probably changing in your lifetime also. So just as we go along now, everyone has a lot of access to lots of information and from anywhere in the world, and it changes how things are happening in the world. So it just happens a lot quicker now. There was always trade that was occurring before. There was always information that was being exchanged. It's just that with the access that the internet provides, that it's instantaneous, that it becomes much more quicker, that information can transfer between places. And with cell phones too, that you can communicate with other people. There was a lot of revolution that was happening in the Middle East recently, and a lot of that was due to the ability of people to communicate on their cell phones and to kind of work around how maybe the countries were kind of blocking them and things like that, so they were able to rally people through mobile technology. A lot of places there's not good landlines, and so people use cell phones to communicate, where they might not even have regular telephones, they might not even have clean water in some places, but they do have cell phones, and sometimes they don't even have electricity. They have to travel somewhere to charge up their phone in order to use it later. With air travel too, people can move back and forth across the world, across countries very quickly, so travel is becoming much more quicker, and even with shipping products, things can be, lots of large things can be shipped overseas in a few weeks, and planes can travel around the world quickly and move product quickly too. So how is this important to engineering? As an engineer, you're going to be working for a company most likely that wants to have a global impact. That either their customers are global and they want to reach out to more customers globally, or possibly that they have products that are coming in from other locations around the world, and they want to be able to have engineers that are going to be able to work well with their salespeople and getting new customers around the world, or with dealing with issues at production plants that are maybe overseas. So that's why one reason why we have some humanities classes and language requirements is that you have some experience in dealing with other people and other nationalities, and it's good to kind of work with internationals while you're here at campus in order to kind of reach out and learn something about their cultures. So all these companies that you're looking at working for, there's a list of them here. They're all looking at providing product globally and receiving their supplies globally. So it's going to be something that's going to continue to occur, and we're going to have to deal with. I've talked with lots of alumni that have gone on lots of business trips overseas. Some of them actually end up moving overseas for a period of time, so that could possibly happen. So, in conclusion, that we know that globalization is occurring. We know that it's not something new, that we're going to be having to deal with it. It's just happening much faster, and it's becoming much more prominent in our society. So we can't really stop that from happening. There's also lots of information that's being transmitted back and forth. We can't stop that from happening also. So, that's something we're going to have to understand and potentially use. Pollution does occur also as across country borders too, so that's something that we need to kind of consider when we're thinking about designing things for a sustainable world. And that just as an engineer, we're going to have to be able to work with other people from other countries. We're going to have to be able to design for things and follow cultures and traditions in other locations too, and kind of look at how the different needs in different locations are going to be affecting our designs that we're going to be working on. So as we look ahead, we'll be looking at a lot of different global applications to our engineering.